Welcome back to the show. I am so excited for today's episode. It's going to be so much fun because I'm doing something a little different that I've never actually done on the podcast before, where I am actually inviting some colleagues and friends of mine to come on the podcast and do a live cosmic design reading with me. Because these sessions are truly so near and dear to my heart. I don't know if it's just like this season of life that I'm in where like my obsession with astrology and human design has found like a new threshold that I didn't think was even possible, but it truly just is. And I really want to highlight my dear friend Alexa because her work is so incredible, and I want everyone to kind of listen in and hear how much you can get from even like I didn't even go as deep in this reading as I could, right? Because I spent like an hour with you. This was like, you know, the surface of what you can receive. So, especially because I get this question asked a lot. And I mean, I even put it in my bio, right? I do soul purpose astrology. And really, I really help people find their purpose and find fulfillment and satisfaction and purpose. For lack of a better word, like feel purposeful and satisfied and fulfilled in their life, right? And I feel like a lot of the time, because I know I was like this too at one point in my life when, you know, I was really starting to get into this work and I was looking for someone to just tell me what to do, right? I was so lost that I was constantly looking for clarity, and I was honestly looking for someone to just tell me what to do with my life. And I thought that finding my purpose, I say that in quotes because you'll understand in a minute, that finding my purpose was going to tell me, oh, Meg, go work in marketing. Because I think that's a lot of people, I think, confuse finding your purpose with your career. And in this reading with Alexa, I really helped outline and break down that finding your purpose and living your purpose is a lifestyle. It is what you do is just a part of it. It is just a part of the puzzle. And it actually reminds me of the movie Soul. One of my all-time favorite movies. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. I could like use I could use some I don't know, I just feel like Soul just gives you perspective and just awareness that there's just so much more to life, you know. And your purpose is the same way. Living in your purpose and living in soul purpose, at least for me and how I read your chart, is really about energy. Obviously, I'm an energy healer. It's the energy behind your entire lifestyle. It's what you are doing for money is simply a part of the puzzle, right? But when you are following your north node and you are really embodying all of the lessons and understanding that it is so much more, because that's what you learned at the end of Soul. It's not about being a musician. It was about him being able to express himself through his music and actually finding so much joy and fulfillment in teaching others, right? And like helping people understand the magic of music instead of becoming this famous musician, right? And so in this episode, we really break down what it really means to live in your purpose and follow your purpose, and how the aspects of your astrology and human design chart really help you do that. And understanding the whole picture, right? Not just one little sliver, right? Your 10th house, your career, public image, it's one piece of the pie. You have 11 other slices in your pie, right? That make up all of you. So really allowing that to sink in and realizing that it's not just one thing that is going to bring you that satisfaction. It is really understanding your fullest potential in all of these areas and how to bring your unique energy into life and really honoring your unique energy. It's incredible. And so without further ado, let me introduce Alexa before I just talk my whole freaking life away. But Alexa is a CEO and founder of Curated Kultura. I can't talk. Rishi, I'm sorry. We're going to do this over again. Alexa is a CEO and founder of Curated Kultura, a shop highlighting Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander founders and makers. And We Are The R0W, the Road to Zero Waste, a sustainability coaching consultancy. I still can't talk, but we're going to keep going. Alexa is a Filipina American mama striving to leave the world better than how she found it for her kids and for all future generations. And we talk a lot about this when we are looking at her chart too. It's so funny how, I say this, I've said this before, I will continue to say it, but astrology and human design truly works with your intuition. And what you are so naturally drawn to, you are drawn to it for a reason, and it's written all in your DNA. I fucking love it. I fucking love it so much. Alexa truly does some incredible work, and I can't wait for y'all to hear her story, get to know her a little bit deeper, see the value that truly comes from getting readings like these, and the work that we could do together moving forward. I think that's it. I think that's it. All right, without further ado, here is Alexa. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to have my beautiful friend Alexa on the show with me today. Alexa, welcome. I'm so excited to dive into all the goodies with you today.
Hi, thanks for having me, Megan. I'm so excited to be here and thanks for offering this. And I can't wait to hear what we're gonna talk about today.
Yeah, it's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so fun. But before we dive into all the astrology things, I really want to introduce you to my audience. You are so incredible. Alexa and I met in a mastermind, gosh, almost like a year ago, I guess,
Yeah.
last fall. So it's just what an incredible journey I feel like we've been on together. But I love for everyone to get to know you, the amazing work that you do, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm Alexa. I am the founder and CEO of Curated Kultura, and it is a shop that highlights different Asian American, Pacific Islander, Native Hawaiian businesses. And I highlight the makers and share their items with everyone and just help provide an alternative to buying local owned businesses. And also, one of the other things that I'm working on is sustainability and sharing how to incorporate it into everyone's businesses and everyone's lives.
So beautiful. So beautiful. Everyone needs to check out her store. She has the cutest little kits and the cutest boxes. And even your in-person stuff too, I've been seeing on Instagram, your markets that you do are so cute and absolutely incredible. So
Oh,
everyone needs to go check her out because it's truly amazing. And I'm having you on today because I just been wanting to have people like come on the pod and just like dive into their astrology and like really help them, like especially like how we can use the birth chart to really help bring more clarity to what you're moving through in your life, the desires that you have, and like how to really step into your fullest power and potential. So why don't you give me a little brief overview of your intention, what you're really looking for, like what maybe you're moving through that you want more clarity on, and then I have your chart already pulled up, and then I'll just start spewing all
uh,
things at you.
really, what I'm focusing on is clarity. We're probably going to talk about it, but I like to do all the things and I have all these ideas and I just want to do it all. And and sometimes they're not even related. They're just like, oh, I really like jujitsu. Like, how can I incorporate this more into so it's like there's so many things. I feel like I'm so multifaceted and just hoping for, how like I've been trying to fit myself into so many different boxes, so many different personas. And it's like, how could I become more authentically me in my voice?
Mhm.
Um, and I've been wanting to do a reading because everything I've done, it's just what I've Googled myself. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So to have someone who this is their expertise to guide me through this, like, I'm so excited.
Oh, this is gonna be so fun. Okay, so I'm hearing we're feeling a lot of almost like our minds are very full, right? We can go
Mhm.
in, we can be pulled into 3,000 different directions. And so really looking for like, I guess where feels the most resonant for you right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my little water queen, because you really are. I mean, with a lot of Earth too, we
Mhm.
have Alexa is a Pisces sun, Leo moon, Cancer rising. Like my little water baby. That's just how I feel about
Are
them.
those all water signs? Are they?
Leo
Or
is fire, but
oh, okay. Oh.
Pisces and Cancer
Mm.
is water. So, which I find to be really, really interesting because not only you have your Pisces sun, which is where I'll start, in your ninth house, which is of travel, higher learning, philosophy, like really bringing like this beautiful deeper learning with Pisces as well, which is very like empathetic, otherworldly, very psychic, very like compassionate, right? Your north node is also in the same sign, in the same house. And your north node is your purpose in your life right now. It is your like the energy that you're really here to embody. And so when you have your sun and your north node in the same sign, in the same placement, it's actually really fucking awesome because your egoic desires, like they're already so aligned with what your purpose is. Like you don't have to like compare to like maybe when it's on the opposite side of the chart, it's like it can feel like more of a like, oh, this feels a little bit more scary to step into. But like for you, you just actually have to let yourself simply like shine your light and like just be the embodiment of who you already are, right? So like really leaning into that travel, the higher learning, like that teacher and this beautiful empathetic placement as well, especially when you have a Cancer rising. Cancer is all around family and home and nurturing and loving. And so like having these two, like having that the family home root connection with your north node being like of travel, of like really like the ninth house is all about also like crossing seas, right? It's not even like local crossing. Gemini is like,
Oh my God, Megan. I have the chills.
yeah, tell me what's moving through you.
So I haven't really told anyone yet, but we got into this world schooling program for my kids, and
No
we're
way.
going to Bali and doing like world schooling.
No way.
Yes, fucking way.
Okay. And this is why I love
Like,
astrology. Astrology is literally so real. It's the most real it could ever be. Wild. Okay. So that's absolutely 1,000. Tell me about World School. Like, what is it? Tell me about it.
I love to travel, like even before I had kids, like my partner and I would travel a lot all the time. And then we are like, can we make this happen with kids? We're like, fuck yeah, like let's travel with the kids. And then like my first kid, we went on like 25 flights before they were two.
Oh.
So because once they hit two, they have to pay for your kids' flights. Um, and so uh we slowed down a little bit like in the pandemic and then when I had my second kid. And then now like I've just been feeling this strong pull to travel more with the kids and to show them the world and to learn, and because I really feel that travel is like its own form of education. And
Mhm.
then so when you said higher learning, I'm like, oh fuck, God.
Okay, so you are literally so on purpose. And so like all like I really want to validate that, like, even though our mind can feel like when it comes to our purpose, it needs to be like career and it needs to be what we're doing, what we're putting our energy towards. When it comes to our purpose, when it comes from the astrology and human design standpoint, it's really about the energy that you are embodying. And it has actually, I mean, of course, you do have placements in your 10th house, which rules your career. Your Jupiter is in there as well, which is a very important. However, when it comes to feeling fulfilled, because that's what I feel like people kind of can confuse, like living your purpose and like what is my purpose and feeling fulfilled, because it's like you can feel fulfilled in a lifestyle and not necessarily have to link your fulfillment to what you do for a living, right? And having that be the sole derivement of your fulfillment, right? Being fulfilled in life takes a whole plethora, right, of like ingredients. Like when we think of like a cauldron, right? Like I feel like fulfillment and really feeling satisfied with your life comes from your lifestyle as a whole. And so for you, your North Node being in this, the area of travel and spirituality and higher learning and just like deep empathetic feeling and
Yeah.
like really letting yourself like immerse yourself in these places with your Cancer rising, bringing your family, bringing your like your home roots and structures is so beautiful and so important, especially because I feel like you might feel like you're being pulled in a lot of different directions as well. You have a lot of Capricorn placements
Oh.
in your sixth house. So your Mars, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are all in Capricorn, and they're all in your sixth house, which
Huh.
is daily routines,
Oh.
mental health, wellness, like it's like your day to day. And so
Hmm.
with Mars also being that initiator, how you move through your life, your aggression in the state where it's like life can feel very busy and your day can
Oh.
feel very packed.
Huh.
Having Capricorn there as like a grounded structure, Capricorn is really rooted in structure, in routine. It's like you really are learning how to blend these two needs of like feeling rooted and feeling grounded and feeling very like put together when it comes to your daily life, your mental health, your wellness, along with having this desire to travel and
Yeah.
see the world and learn from cultures in other places, right?
Mhm.
Especially, I'm sure you experience your Saturn return here as well. So thinking back to 27 to 30, thinking about what was happening in your life during these
Hmm.
times that really change the way you looked at your day, like change the way that you move throughout your day and how you were actually taking care of yourself and the different structures and boundaries that we need to have in order to feel this groundedness and this safety while we still travel the world and learn from new places, people's things, etc.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much to take in. It's almost validating. Is that the word?
Yes, that's the hope.
Wow. I never like what you were saying about fulfillment, and I've been feeling like that need to have to fulfill through work, but it's like, no, it doesn't have to be.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just wow.
Powerful, right?
Yeah.
And
Megan.
I mean, look, this is the energy that you came into the world with, right? Like, this is the energy that's why I love using astrology and human design because it just really allows you to see all of you and
Mhm.
validate these feelings that you so naturally have, right? Um, and really understand it's like, okay, this is the energy that I came into the world with, right?
Mhm.
All of these different facets, right? All of my Capricorn sixth house placements, my love for travel and seeing the world and all of that, like, because your sun and North Node are in the same place, in the same house, in the same sign. And so it's like,
it comes so naturally to you, right?
Mm.
And so knowing all of this, it really can just help put to words that maybe we weren't aspects of ourselves that we weren't able to put into words before. And
Mhm.
then when we know all of this, then we use human design to really help you like live in that energy, right? And like
Oh.
human design, like leaning on your strategy and authority, then helps you continue to like live in alignment like with your own energy. It's cool.
Wow.
It's cool. It's
It is amazing. Oh my gosh.
and when it comes to your career too, like so you have two planets in your 10th house, which is I think why we can feel so strongly where it's like it needs to come from this. You have Jupiter, which rules over prosperity, abundance, and your Venus, which is how you love, what you love, are both in
Oh.
Aries and in your 10th house of career, public image, like outer, it's very outer world, right? And
Mm.
so when we have these two placements here, Aries is that initiator, right? Aries is that fire sign. It's the go-getter. It's I'm first. I can do this. Like it's really here to push you and usher you into creating all of these ideas, right? So you have all these ideas and Aries is such a beautiful sign of initiation. Like they
Mhm.
are really here to like begin to like light little fires everywhere and really
Oh.
bring that creative energy and drive into making these ideas happen too, right?
Hmm.
And when it comes to your career, but knowing that like when it comes to your prosperity and your abundance and your growth, the more that you lean into the idea that like, oh yeah, like I do have all I can let these ideas just pour out of me and like I
Mm.
can excuse me, I can really understand that like I I have this desire to be seen too. The 10th
Mm.
house is very much public image, big picture,
Oh.
stages, think of things like that. And you also have a Leo moon too, which your Leo is that, when you think of Leo, it's the sun, right? So
Mhm.
we have our internal world also like feeling like they want to be seen big, bold, like in your second house of material possessions, right? And personal possessions, having this play with your 10th house and what you love, it's like actually really allowing yourself to be seen and your work to be seen as a big deal, right?
Mm.
Allowing yourself to really like have fun with all of these different ideas and like actually begin to use your strategy and your authority to maybe help you decide on what to act on next, right? Knowing that like your abundance of ideas is a gift and you don't necessarily like you're not meant to be pigeonholed into just one thing.
Mm.
It's
Mhm.
all a part of your cauldron that makes life worth living, right? And adds into your fulfillment.
Wow.
How does that resonate?
Oh my God, I just feel so speechless.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, just what the fuck, Megan? This is your magic.
Tell me your feelings.
Um, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I'm feeling a lot overwhelmed.
Talk to me.
Um, I feel like I have been holding myself back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just me. It's just me holding myself back. It's just me in my stories and me. I know we've talked like during the mastermind about like one of the meditations that we did. Um, I saw myself like a curtain was like opening and I was on stage. And then I saw
Oh
myself
my
like
God, I forgot about that.
standing. Yeah, you remember?
I remember the stage part. Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah. And so like I just like I remember the curtains opening and I was like standing and I like walked out onto a stage. And then that just like the vision came back. Like I haven't thought about it since then either. But when you said that, it's like, yeah, there is that part of me that I like talking. I like I like public speaking. I don't really like I know a lot of people get nervous, but I don't get too nervous about it. But yeah, there's just that part of me. And it's just so interesting that, like hearing like let's see, how do I say this? Like the extent of my astrology is just like I just knew what is it, the main sign? My sun, my Pisces. I only knew that I was a
Yeah.
Pisces,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like all of this and all the different layers and like what I hear about other signs, but it's like when you say like when you brought in like one of the other signs and it's like, oh, interesting. And like to hear it put all together. Yeah, I'm so glad we're recording this so I can listen to it again.
yes, I know, because it can be overwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
especially when you're like, holy shit, no, like this
Mhm.
isn't just like something I saw in a meditation.
Mhm.
Like this is
Yeah.
just like my mind just like seeing me on a stage. Like this is actually like encoded in my DNA. Like this
Wow.
energy is imprinted because that's what I love astrology. Like this is a map of the energy
Oh.
of what was imprinted into you when you were born, right? I think I forget what study I was, I forget the physicist, but I was at a retreat where Daniel Page, super famous like astrologer, talked about this study where every single atom broken down is made of stardust and a black hole.
Oh my
And
God.
so realizing that we are made of stardust and a black hole and like the conundrum too like of those two things and realizing that the planets and the stars and all of their placements from the moment that they were born that energy is planted into us, right? And
Wow.
so yeah, some people can just brush off like, oh yeah, I had this like one random meditation and I saw myself on a stage, but like who fucking knows? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm so far from that. And like, I don't even know if that's real or if that's true. And then we have tools like this where
Mm.
now it's like actually giving you the validation of being like, girl, like you are actually meant for so much bigger. That wasn't just some random vision that you had. This is actually imprinted within you and it's a part of you. And now we just get to work on together. And like this is what we would do like in, like longer spaces. Like
Mhm.
together we would work on like how we can start to bring that bigness and the boldness into your life. Your Chiron is in Gemini in your 11th house, and the Chiron is the wounded healer. I talk about this a lot on the podcast too.
Oh.
So it's really interesting because Aries, that like big, bold fire sign, like the initiator, the go-getter, we have our Chiron in Gemini. It's also in that house of community and friendships.
Oh.
So Gemini is also like the intellect, the thirst for knowledge and just wanting to dive into everything. And with our Chiron here, I think there can be a part of us that feels like we just don't know enough, right? Like
Mm.
we don't know enough. Who am I? Especially Gemini also rules over like small communities, hometown, things like that. And so like when we have this desire to be big,
Mhm.
but we have this wounding from, throughout our life experience, whatever the stories may be, of feeling like, who are we? This is where I came from. This is only how big I can be in order to keep my
Mm.
friends and community comfortable
Oh,
with being with
interesting.
me, right? And so like when we think that's when we psych ourselves out from the bigger dreams because we have this belief that like, well, if I don't if I reach this, there might be the people in my life might start to feel threatened by me. They might
Mm.
not love me as much. They actually might start like rejecting me in one way or another because now I'm no longer like comfortable for them,
Wow.
right? And
Wow.
like that's like then we can start to like pull away the layers of like what that really means for
Mhm.
you so we can have you be in that bigness and that boldness and like on that place where like you are being seen globally. You're being seen with the world.
Oh my
Just
God.
as your world traveler ass self.
Oh my God. I mean, that's something I struggle with every day. Um, like I was like born and I've lived like within this 20-mile radius. And my immediate family is still here. My cousins, like we grew up like seeing each other every day at school and on the weekends. And it's just like this community that I've had. And I've been feeling that, the exact pull of like, what's going to happen if I do allow myself to go here?
Mhm.
Or, and like, I want to bring everyone with me.
Mhm.
And that's just been something that I'm just like, this is my path, but they have their own path. And, so it's just like, that's something that,
It's really interesting.
huh, yeah.
Like, because it's so natural for us to like want to, you know, bring everyone with us. And the thought of getting to this certain place and then having like, okay, well, wait, like these people have always been like this predominant part of my life, right? And that's
Mhm.
what's so interesting about your North Node being in your ninth house with like this just like juxtaposition. I like make up new words all the time, but I understand what I'm talking about. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right. But like with also having your Chiron be in the 11th house of community, and
Oh,
it's like it's almost like there's like this push pull where it's like we want to go and like see the world and immerse ourselves in new places and share that too, right? Like your Mercury is in Aquarius in your seventh house. So Aquarius also all around community and
oh,
just like the in the seventh house of relationships too. So it's like the collective and all of your
mm,
sustainability. Like it makes a lot of fucking sense with your
mm,
Mercury in Aquarius. Like you are really here to help like change the world and use your beliefs to really help make a difference when it comes to how businesses and small businesses and even big businesses are operating, right? With their sustainability, helping small businesses bring out their voices, right? Like it just, you have all of these placements that are like pulling you to like bigger, right? And like
mm,
be bigger, claim bigger. We're here. And then with this juxtaposition of Chiron and Gemini, it's really like allowing you to start to heal this part of you that feels like she needs to fit the mold that she was born
mm,
into, right? And like you can never miss your fate too. So it's like these callings throughout your life, I feel like have always been there. And now
yeah.
it's becoming a more and more, especially now that you have your family as well. So that's like feeding into your rising sign, like really being like, no, like this is how I want to raise my kids. Like this is how I really want to establish my life. And like, can I forgive myself? And like what boundaries and structures do I need to have in place now with these people in my life so I can still be the full me, right? Because we're not doing them a favor being half a version of
Mm,
you. We're not doing yourself a favor. We're not doing our kids a favor, right? By only
yeah.
claiming like this part of you or this part of you.
Mm,
And like starting to like bring it all together is the most beautiful thing that you can move through.
wow.
Yeah. It's so cool, right?
Oh my God. Wow.
What are you feeling?
That everyone I know should go come see you.
Oh,
And
you
your
are so
magic.
sweet.
Oh my God. I feel like you get me. And not just because, like leading up to this, we've known each other like the last year too. So you have some background, but just like, but we haven't talked about any of this stuff that and oh my God, it's like peeling back an onion and getting through the different layers.
Yeah,
And
it's beautiful. Thank you. I'm so happy that you're resonating. And I think that's what's so beautiful, at least with how I view astrology, because my readings aren't, it's not your typical sun, moon, and rising. It's not your
Mm.
typical like natal chart reading because yeah, I'm talking about things. I don't know. It's a channel, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
seeing things and I'm able to somehow talk about even like I had no idea about your community and like
Oh,
how
yeah.
you were born and raised like all in the same place with all the truly no I totally forgot about the stage thing.
Hmm.
So it's so crazy to know how resonant this is and how, yeah, it really is. It's like, okay, wow, like there's so much here. And
Hmm.
of course, that can be a little overwhelming. And when I look at your human design, I'm like, I've never seen a chart more lit up in my life.
What do
Uh,
you mean?
all of your centers are defined besides your root center. You like every single center is defined besides your root center. And I find that to be wild as a projector, as a projector myself. Um,
What is that? I don't know. I don't know what that means.
oh my gosh. Okay. So, and you're in human design, you're a manifesting generator, right?
Mhm.
Did you know that?
I know that. Yeah.
Okay. So you are an emotional manifesting generator with a 1-3 profile, just like me. I have a 1-3 as well. But what I find to be so interesting, so all of your energy, so when you have they have 9 energy centers in the body,
Mm.
and you can either have your centers defined, meaning you have active energy running between these centers that are emitting from you, right?
Hmm.
That's your life-giving energy, or they can be open, meaning that you're absorbing that energy from others.
Oh.
Every single one of your centers is defined. You have channels going to every single one besides your root center, which is
Huh.
so interesting because your root center can like when we have an undefined root center, it can feel like we're a little like unsettled. Like we always feel like
Yeah.
we need to be like doing something, moving something,
Yes.
going
Yes.
somewhere. So I find that to be so interesting, especially as a man gen too. And that's why you also, as a man gen, you have all of the ideas. You are really
Oh.
meant to have little fires everywhere.
Oh.
However, so it's like knowing that, like, especially with your Aries Venus and Jupiter also in Aries in your 10th house of career, it's like, of course, you have all these ideas and we want to like bring all them together and like have them all make sense.
Mhm.
Now you just want to lean on your emotional authority
Mhm.
to feel out what idea makes the most sense in your life right now. So, like,
Mhm.
giving yourself time, allowing, because again, your sacral is going to respond. So, like, you will get that yes or no in your body. So like feeling into your body, getting that sacral response. And if you're not getting that response, or even if you do, allowing yourself to wait out your emotional wave.
So
Because you
kind of like just listening to my gut more.
you want to listen to your
Yeah.
gut
Hmm.
and because you have emotional authority. So some folks only have sacral authority, and that truly is just like responding to your gut, right? That
Hmm.
initial instinct, like, is my body giving me a yes or a no? And it still really is important for you to ask yourself questions that your body can respond to because you
Mm.
do have that active sacral. However, because you have emotional authority, meaning that your solar plexus is also ignited by you, right? And actually, that's what makes you a manifesting generator. Um, your solar plexus is connected up to your throat, which is actually really beautiful. Um, so really
Mm.
being able to speak your emotions and feelings. However,
Mm.
we want to make sure that we are coming to a neutral place in your emotional wave. So like for
Mm.
you, like having that gut, like listening to your guttural response, but then sleeping on it.
Mm.
Because and you might have noticed throughout your life, you can have high highs and very low lows. And like
Yes.
it can really feel like somebody it's like, okay, I'm leaving my job,
Yeah.
I'm leaving my life behind, like I'm starting all because none of this is working and none of this is good and this is all hard. And so you're like, okay, like I'm literally going to uproot my life. And then the next thing you're like, actually, you know what? I think that was a little bit dramatic. I think I was based on that. I don't think I need to restructure my entire life. I think though, I do need to look deeper into like this part of my life, for example.
Mm.
So really understanding that like throughout these emotional highs and lows, we can come to a neutral place. And I think the more that you lean away from having those spontaneous decisions and just letting it settle, giving yourself at least 24 hours. Like, so for example, when you have a new idea come in and you're like, oh my God, like this would be the best idea. Like, I know how to do this, 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 and this. I can literally do it tomorrow. Like, let's go, let's do it. Like, just giving yourself a moment
Hmm.
to just really feel into it and like letting yourself like move past the excitement and be like, okay, well, in my day to day, right? Especially because you have all of your placements, you have a lot of placements in your sixth house, which is your daily routines. Like
Mhm.
in my day to day, like, how does this actually fit? Does this make sense? Like in my actual, like, whole lifestyle fulfillment? Or like, does
Huh.
this feel like something that I just need to do, right? Or should do? And like allowing your emotional authority to then be like, okay, like these other ideas, like you can keep like a running list, like note
Mhm.
in your phone, be like, these are all my amazing ideas that
Hmm.
maybe some will come to fruition, but also not giving yourself like making yourself feel like shit about it if they don't come
Mm.
to fruition too, right? And
Mhm.
letting your emotional authority really guide you.
Mm.
How does all of that resonate? How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like yeah, like you said, like throughout my life, like I would have these ups and downs, and then some days would be like, fuck it all, I'm quitting. I'm gonna move away. And then some days and then I sleep on it and I'm like, maybe we don't have to be so dramatic. Maybe we can just like shift a couple things here and there. And then like I'll adjust and um like do certain things to shift. And
Mhm.
then like something else will come from me like, oh, we're gonna do this. And then it's like I'll have to like rein myself back in and kind of ground myself and then really think it through. Um, but yeah, like I feel that there are so many things I want to do, so many places I want to see. But it's funny because my husband is always just like, why don't we just wait little bit? I think he's starting to like finally at this point where I'm just like kind of ground me a little bit and
Mhm.
then make me like take a step back and think about it and um then I'll go like full fledged in that direction. And so I
Mhm.
feel that that makes sense. That makes total sense.
So beautiful. And I think it's really beautiful for your husband to also have that accountability for you too and like really be
Mhm.
like, okay, wait, like, do we need to go full throttle? Like, do we need to go all in at this moment? Because there are going to be times where it's like, yeah, actually, like, we really, really do. But
Mhm.
like, as long as you give yourself, and again, this is where deconditioning comes in,
Mhm.
because our brain loves to take it with like, oh, I need to think about this and I need to logically think through all the, especially with your Mars and Capricorn, we are there. That's like that analytical data part of you where like we
Mm.
love to think things through. But for you, even the way that you manifest is all based on how you feel. The more you begin to allow yourself, instead of thinking logically through everything, but actually moving through how it actually feels for you, how it
Yeah.
feels in your body, how it feels when you're doing it. Especially, you do have a 1-3 profile, meaning that
Mhm.
3, we are living through our life experiences, honey. Like, we are
Mm.
really trial and error. Like, we sometimes need to go and do the thing to realize it's not actually the thing that we want because we need to feel it in our bodies and
Interesting.
feel through it and actually experience it to know it's not what we want. And so, like,
Mm.
allowing yourself to really lean into the feeling, because that is truly how you manifest, is through feeling. And so the more that you
Oh.
start to really notice how certain people, certain places, certain projects are making you feel, that gets to be your compass and your North Star. And
Mm.
to then like weeding things out and or adding things into your life that will actually go into your little fulfillment cauldron lifestyle
Interesting.
pot.
Yeah, because I feel like I do that. I feel that depending on like the energy and when I'm working with someone, it's just like we can get like so much shit done in like a day. But then when the energy is just like, I don't know, like I'm dragging my feet and it'll never get done. And but it's just like that feeling that I have where it's just like, do I really want to do this? Like, does this feel right? And if not, then um I can sit on something for like months. But then when it comes to something where I'm really lit up about it, like I manifest so fast and
Oh yeah.
it's just bam, 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 bam. And like and then like I don't get tired either when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
stuff that I'm just so lit up about and I can just keep going and going and I can stay up late and then I won't even know it's like 2 a.m. and I'm like, I think I have to sleep now. And um so it's like it's just like night and day, like my
Mm-hmm.
energy when it comes to certain things and how I feel about it. And wow. And all
Yes.
this time I thought it was a bad thing.
Oh my God, no. Like that
Yeah.
is your superpower, girl. Like that is you being a manifesting generator. So like because I am truly manifesting generators, I love them. My partner's a man gen. Like y'all are able to manifest so quickly because when you are knee deep in what you actually want to do, it just fucking flies.
Mhm.
And that's when you know, like literally the universe is like showing you like, yes, 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 because you are so lit up, you can pour yourself into it and fucking do it. And granted, we need to make sure we do sleep and rein that in because we do have that unlimited sacral energies. You know, like when you are in it, you are in it, but
Mhm.
also know that like for the other areas where we're dragging our feet instead of making ourselves feel bad and dragging it out for months, it's like, oh, this is just not meant to happen right now. It doesn't mean it needs to like,
Mm.
it doesn't mean it needs to be a no forever, but it's like clearly this is a no right now. And so like
Oh, wow.
instead of spreading myself so thin and being like, okay, well, this is really working. I'm going to pour myself into this, but like, oh my God, like this is still here and like it's not getting anywhere and like, but it should be, oh, right? Like letting yourself like cut yourself some slack and be like, this is just a no right now. And like putting like, oh, like actually giving yourself permission to like wipe your hands of it so you can focus on what you actually want to focus.
How liberating.
How liberating is that?
It's just like all these like weights that were on my shoulders, just like brick come off, a brick come off. Like, oh, wow.
So cool, right? And then, of course, you know, human design goes so deep. So, like, we won't get too deep, but that's kind of how, like, now that we went over your astrology and there's so much stuff there, like, learning now that we can lean on that emotional authority to
Mhm.
really begin to understand, okay, when it comes to that Chiron placement, like with my community, like, where am I actually like leaning into the shoulds instead of actually embracing like the big, bold energy that I'm here to create? Oh, when it comes to world school, that shit manifested like this, that, and the third. We're literally going to
Yeah.
Bali. I'm moving my family to Bali. So, like, now, like, what do I want my life to look like now that I'm going here? And like, I'm creating like a whole lifestyle that people like genuinely would dream about. So, like, when it comes to stages, when it comes to all your
Mhm.
sustainability, like how do I want to bring this into the world? Like how do I want to like, especially when I bring your kids in, because you mentioned bringing your kids into the work, like,
Mhm.
oh my God, doing that in Bali, are you kidding me? Like, there's just, like so many, like, and that's what we can like dive into human design, like all of your
Mhm.
gifts, your cross of incarnation, the environment that you're really here to thrive in, like, and really allowing and moving past now the wounding and the
Mhm.
stories and the limiting beliefs and the conditioning that we have to actually get you living in your fullest power, most authentic truth, and being
Oh
exactly who you are.
my wow.
Isn't that so fun?
Yes. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my God.
Do you have any questions for me?
Um, yeah, I think I was just, how do I say this? I feel so seen.
Hmm.
I feel so seen. And it's just so powerful that you can know this much about me from just like when I was born, where I was born. Um, and yeah, sorry, I guess that's not even a question, but that's just how I'm just like
That's just
so,
what's happening right now.
I'm just like still absorbing. I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
wow. So we're doing it. This is
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're really
Yeah.
doing it.
Um, I guess like what's the process like to work with you? Like what would be like the next step if I wanted to talk more about this, like in this limited time that we had, it's just like the tip of the iceberg. Like how can we go, like what is the process to go deeper?
Totally. Yeah, because as this cute little healing process, you described it perfectly. I described it like this too. It's really like an onion, and like these tools like really just have you just dive really deep into all these things, which is so fucking cool. But if you want to go deeper, of course, we can go into a one-off session in my rewire and release. That's more of the energy healing portion where we really can dive into like your Chiron placement, things like that. You can book a full, like we can dive even deeper if you want to just continue to focus on your astrology and human design. You can book a cosmic design session where we do this, but then deeper. And we
Yeah.
just go a little bit deeper and give you some practices and tools to like really help bring this more into your awareness. And then I also have a 4-month program where like using this, depending on, especially like if you're moving, like going through that move of going to Bali and like now like restructuring like what your business looks like, what your life looks like, and now that like we're stepping even more fully into that North Node. That's a whole like transformational journey that's like every week we'll get together. Of course, I use your astrology and human design where we are diving into, all of the things, plus doing the energy work, plus having boxers. So you can like actually have like, this is more of like a hand holding journey
Yeah.
as you like really begin to like unfold and really peel back your onion to like really step into like that powerful, really powerful, big, bold person that you're here to be.
And is that last one you're describing, is that a group program?
No, that's one on one.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's one on one.
Oh.
Yes, I know. I have no groups yet. I will be
Oh.
having the Saturn return program that I'm going to
Mm,
do. That will be coming out later out this year. But no,
okay.
that's all one-on-one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because I love my one-on-one work.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially with this type of work where we're really like knee deep in your design and like really understanding like what makes you you and what makes you unique. That's just, I don't know. It's just where my heart lies. And I think like having that individual attention and
Yeah.
support with someone that can actually see you while you're also moving through the times that
Mm,
feel so not you, I think
mhm.
it's like the biggest gift that you can give to yourself. I know for me, I've made the most like some of the biggest changes in my life. When I was like in being held by someone that I just felt
Yeah.
like could actually hold me
Yeah.
as I move
Yeah.
through all of the things that you can move through when you're just finding yourself again and remembering really yourself again.
Wow. Thank you for sharing
Of
your
course.
gift with me, with us, your listeners, and everyone. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you for coming on and letting me read for you. This was so much fun. I absolutely adored every moment of it. please let my audience know where to find you,
Oh,
how to reach you, because you have such incredible work. And I mean, I can't wait to follow on your journey. So I know everyone here, like the fact that you haven't even told anyone, and now I feel like I'm like, oh my God, I'm like the first one to know you're like going to Bali. Like I feel so special. And so I feel like we're all like now, like I can't wait to just
Mhm.
be thrive there. And I'm sure everyone else here
Yeah.
wants to see that too. So please let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. My Instagram is at Curated Kultura. That's Kurated, like curated, but with a K, and then Kultura, Kultura, and that's in Tagalog, my family's native language from the Philippines. It means culture. So it's Curated Kultura, and then my website is www.curatedkultura.com. And you can email me at alexa@curatedkultura.com, and maybe it'll shift in the future. Maybe there's going to be a pivot coming. I don't know. But also my sustainability work, that is at We Are The R0W. And it's We Are The, and then R0W, and that stands for Road to Zero Waste. So that is where a lot of my sustainability lives on the internet. So that's how you can reach
Yay!
me. Yeah.
Yay! Everything will be in the show notes too, all linked. So y'all go find her, follow her and all her things. Alexa is so incredible and I absolutely love everything that she brings. And it was an honor and a pleasure to like mirror to you how absolutely amazing and incredible you are. And like it's giving the rest is still unwritten. And I'm excited to see how it all writes itself out.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right, everyone. Until next week, we'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode as much as I did. Thank you so much for being here. You have no idea how much it means to me to be able to connect with you all in this way. I would love it if y'all could rate and review the podcast. It helps me so much. If you do, feel free to send me a screenshot on Instagram or emailing me directly. I would love to send you a special gift from me to you that you can use in any offering that's in my world. Remember to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Megan and Bound. And until next time, I'm sending you all of my love.